Alright, up next here we have is a Cirrus CR89 professional grade upright vacuum. I've had this now for almost 2.5 years. I got it from the thrift store for 15 bucks, and this was the condition it was in when I found it. Other than the fact that it's missing a wand, and somewhere in the cord here it's got a little tear inside. The only real issue with this, other than the burnt out headlight, is the fact that the clutch pedal switch is snapped, but the actual mechanism itself still works. But overall, it's in really good condition, or it would be, until I give this a spa. As you can see here, I don't know what the original owners did, but it is nasty. And this is one of the reasons why I could care less about having metal brush rolls nowadays. Growing up, I used to be a huge fan of these just because it shows its durability of them, and I really did like the idea that you can rebuild them. But even metal brush rolls has its drawbacks as well, and this is one of them. Because even if you tried to clean them up, which I know I certainly can, it just wouldn't look as good as it was when it was brand new. So that's one of the reasons why I prefer brush rolls now that are on true professional or commercial grade machines like Siebel or Linhouse, to where not only they can handle the abuse of picking up anything that's wet, but they can even really clean up to look like brand new. Even costs just as much as to replace the brush roll versus rebuilding this entirely. Because even if you did try to rebuild them on one of my vacuums, like on one of my Sharps I own, I tried to rebuild the brush roll, but even after getting it all serviced and cleaned up and running it, it still had bearing issues going on that I just couldn't fix. And even on my Beam Rugmaster Plus power nozzle, the brush roll has bent again. It's done that I think 3 times now, which is a pretty common issue to have on those type of machines. But that basically proves to show that I don't care much about metal brush rolls anymore. But despite that, these will forever be my all-time favorite type of vacuums ever, at least for uprights, that is. I'm really thankful for Hoover and Kenmore as well for coming out with their Dialmatic and dual power machines, to where you have companies like Panasonic, Taconi, Sharp, and even the company who makes these machines, Esco, formerly known as Dust Carry, where not only they make machines similar to the old dinosaurs, but even add some improvements as well. Because even this particular machine is very compatible to the Simplicity 7 series and Recaro 8000 series, but with some improvements that those couldn't have before. So I really like that it's easier to turn the brush roll on and off with the foot instead of having to go all the way down here to deactivate it. I also do like that not only the brush roll shuts off by foot, but when you have the vacuum in upright position, it also shuts off. It's got a variable speed controller, which I honestly could care less about, but I do think it's pretty unique that it has it. It's got better filtration as well. I mean, not saying that the Recaro or Simplicity doesn't filter well, but I really like that pretty much the way that the motor compartment is sealed up almost completely. I say almost because if you were to take a look at the thermal reset button, definitely air can come out of there. but the way it's forced through this really thick filter just filters much better. If I can try to do this with one hand here, I may have to stop the tape, or maybe not. What else here? Oh yeah, I like that it's easier to take the wand out to clean instead of having to go all the way down here to take the hose out, which I actually do prefer, but I do think it's really nice to where you have the wand right here in place, especially for the fact that this can actually telescope out as well. Kind of hard to do with one hand here, but it does in fact do it. Yeah, it is hard to do with one hand. My apologies. And what I really do like that not even the R20 or S20 machines have is inside the back chamber. It has a bag safety switch to where if you take the bag out, I can do this with one hand and try not to rip this paper bag entirely. Alright, so the bag is out. There's a switch right here to where it would only turn on when the bag collar pushes all the way into that. So if it were to be out like that and you were to try to plug the machine in, yeah, I'm about to plug the machine in anyways. Turn the machine on. You can see only the check bag indicator light comes on. So not only it's a performance indicator, but also it's to let you know that, hey, you need to check the bag inside. It's not in all the way. So turn that off. And if you put the bag back inside, another thing I also want to point out, these being a direct competitor to the Simplicity and Recaro, this also has a filter cage to where if the bag were to be very full, this filter gauge prevents to where you can not choke the airflow, to where you can have as much air still coming out through the entire back chamber as much as you can. Another reason why they had these little grill things side of here. So anyways, I really do like that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to pause this. So it's basically to show and let you know that these really are truly built to be serviced and that they are truly built to last for quite a while. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to work now. The only way to find out for certain is to turn it on. Yep. Anyways, so yeah, despite its drawbacks with these, another reason why I'm a huge fan of these and why they're my most favorite ever is that they really are built to last for as long as you pretty much own it. Because not only can it last to up to 20 years, but it can even last longer if you take the most proper care to it. So anyways, that's why I really like these machines. And I'm also really happy to have one of these as well, because my old local vacuum store that I used to go to, my buddy was a Cirrus dealer, and he actually sold these machines, not just this particular model, but also the CR89 model, which would include a turbo brush on the side, which I honestly could care less about, because at first they used to use turbo brushes from a Dirt Devil, and now they use it from another Chinese maker. I'm not too crazy about them. They just easily bog down and just don't clean as well as like a Rugrat. But nonetheless, I really do like these well, yeah. I really do like these machines, and I wished that my other local vacuum store were to carry these instead of the Airway line. So they're made by the same maker as this company, but the Airway models are basically the older style variants of these, which are like the Bernina or Evolution machines, where they don't have as many improvements as these, and they're a lot more expensive too. Why would I buy an Airway where I can just simply get this for way much cheaper? Not only as a consumer, but also as a collector as well, since I like the looks of these more. I would definitely buy a Cirrus over an Airway, without a doubt. Yeah, other than that, I'm still looking for some other models as well. So not only I'm after the CR99 model, but also the CR88, which is basically same thing as this, but without having the wand. The hose actually wraps through around this cord hook, but connected right into the baseline here. Pretty strange, but I think it's very unique. Not to mention the cord hook is actually wrapped on the side instead of on the back. And not just that, but I'm also after some of the other models as well, like the CR78 and CR79. I think I like those just slightly more just because of the color, but it would have been my all-time favorite if it also had a twin fan motor like this one. But yes, this does have a twin fan motor, and unlike the CR78 and 79 models, is that it does have the inlet port to plug the extension hose in or remove a clog, but it does not have the suction variable control. Your speed controller is this, so that lowers the speed of the machine, and that puts it on full power, which I'll show you that. Anyways, that being said, I'll go ahead and run the machine. So, and I don't think I mentioned this already, but the belt is snapped, so you won't be able to hear it running at all. So here we go. Yeah, didn't realize I was going to make that much mess onto the rug here. But, and that's another thing to worry. I also could care less about one-sided suction machines, that this suction was more in the center, and if it had more power as well, like a central vac, it would have, for certain, without a doubt, even without a belt, picked this all up. So I'll just leave the rest of the mess alone for the other videos I'll be doing next. So Hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.